Norwegian wood, and that's where Phil would be, Simon.
Exactly right. I wonder if he can hear us.
I certainly can, guys. I'm talking to you from the northerlymost city in the world. It is Hammerfest, Norway, in the Arctic Circle. We are on the same latitude as Siberia at the moment.
And where are you? What can you see? What is the scene?
What a good question. I am on board the Trollfjord, the Hurtigruten ferry, and I am surrounded by very rugged peaks, snow-capped, of course, and no vegetation. It's very bleak up here. It's all rock. We've just come down from the Russian border yesterday, from Kirkenes, where we had lunch in a hotel carved out of ice.
It'd be freezing, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd think so, but we have been very lucky with the temperatures. We haven't fallen below zero at all. Temperatures are on board the boat at the moment around +2, +4, and we haven't needed to rug up much. The only disappointment is, over the last 4 or 5 nights, because of low cloud cover, we are yet to get a good view of, Bruce, the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Well, I'm disappointed for my group because 2 years ago, but Jill and I were lucky enough in Iceland to catch it 2 nights in a row. But it's sort of darting between the clouds. But we're hoping for a good viewing tonight on our way back through Tromsø, where we're going to enjoy a midnight choral concert in the Arctic Cathedral.
That'll be lovely.
Now, Phil, take us back just a sec to that ice hotel, because I have trouble imagining how you would sleep. Because if your room is relatively warm, wouldn't the ice melt and drip on your face?
Yeah, well, no. Apparently, it won't start melting until April, when the temperatures start to warm up a bit. The story is that it takes 6 weeks to carve the hotel. It's like an ice cave, and each room is like a little igloo with its own a sleeping bag inside, and you just snuggle under there with somebody you care about and try and keep warm overnight, I imagine.
Sounds like something Bruce won't go on. He'd rather his cruise.
Then you get up and you go and have breakfast, and you sit on an ice chair.
Yes, you absolutely do, yes.
Your decks will get wet.
From the time you walk inside the hotel, the bar, your toilet, everything has been carved out of ice.
Oh, goodness strength, goodness me.
You couldn't go. You'd sit down and get stuck.
Well, you would. I think we might have an ice bar in Melbourne down at Docklands, as far as I know. I haven't been there myself.
There's one opposite in Russell Street, opposite the museum.
Is that
or
right?
There probably is.
The old museum.
Well, yes, and that's the only time the temperature has fallen to -4 was when we were inside the ice hotel. But people do it, and they hopefully look out from their little igloo and see the midnight sun during the summer months, June, July, or the Northern Lights this time of the year.
Is this boring Arliss? Is that going to show itself at all?
Well, yes, it's been spectacular every night, we're told, but above the clouds. And, of course, at this height, we're not capturing it. Nigel Williamson, who's part of our group from Nigel's Animal Rescue, he got a couple of shots the other night, and he's put them on Facebook already. But the whole sky lights up. It's like a waving curtain across the sky in colours of mainly green, but also, if you're lucky, some reds and purples and blues
but
as well.
You haven't seen it?
Not this time round. No way.
Yeah.
No, and guys, if we don't see it by tomorrow night, I want a refund.
Oh, you can imagine another insurance claim, like the time you got wedged on that ship. Can I ask, Phil?
Yeah.
Can I ask now? You're as far north as you can possibly go in terms of suburbs and towns and stuff. What time? Because it's winter up there now. What time does the sun rise and set?
Well, it seems to be up about 10 in the morning, and by about 3:30 in the afternoon it's twilight. But had we been here December 21, the shortest day of the year, of course it would have been almost total darkness all day long.
It's amazing, isn't it, Bruce? Would you love that, to have the sunrise at 10?
Who's that?
She's making an announcement in Norwegian that lunch is now being served in the dining room. I have to tell you, Bruce, this is a ferry, but it's a magnificent boat. 6 decks of lounges and bars and restaurants and everything you'd find on a magnificent cruise ship.
Except there's an ice shortage.
So you're only on that for a few hours, are you? Because you're going to another country.
No, we've been on this boat now for 4 days, and we went north from Tromsø in the Arctic Circle. We went all the way to Kirkenes on the Russian border. We turned around yesterday, and we're now on our way back to Tromsø at midnight tonight.
Right.
And then over the weekend, I'll have 24 hours in Bangkok en route back to you on Monday night.
Okay. You tell that woman to put a sock in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Norwegian a complex language? Because to announce lunch, it's taking her forever. Or is she reading you the menu?
By the way, guys, I have to tell you, first day on the ship, I fell out with the captain. The captain and I had an almighty blue, and he was swearing at me in Norwegian. This is why. Nigel kindly bought me some studs to put under my boots so I wouldn't slide around on the black ice. And of course, they're like footy stops. And I'm walking around the deck like Fred Astaire tap dancing, and the captain says, "You are ruining my carpets. You are ruining my polished floors. Take them off. Take them off. Take them off."
Good on him.
So it wasn't a very good start.
No, so would I.
Well, I've got 2 lovely ladies in company with me, Jill, whom you know, and her friend who's a nurse, Jay, plus Nigel, and I'm the only one of the 4 of us who hasn't taken a tumble so far.
Yeah. Is that right?
We've had the surgeon from the hospital down at Camberwell, Epworth, ringing in and saying you haven't checked with him about going over, and they're worried about insurance should anything develop.
No, I think it's the best thing for my hip. I think this cold, crisp air is doing my hip the world of good, guys. I am going to come back a different person next week.
We hope so.
Not according to Dr. Crippen, who said that ice is the worst thing for your hip.
So I'll very much look forward to seeing you on Monday night. And we're about to go down to lunch now and enjoy some wonderful Norwegian fish, salmon and so on.
What is on the menu?
Oh, well, mainly fish because that's the main industry up here. Up at Kirkenes on the Russian border, there's iron ore mining run by the Australians. But they have some natural gas here, but it's mainly tourism and fishing. This ferry of mine sets out from Bergen down the south of Norway every day of the week and does a round trip up to Russia and back again. If you stay on board the ship, it takes you 11 days and you make 35 stops. And, of course, we're doing half the voyage, and that's why we're at Hammerfest, which was totally destroyed by the Nazis during World War II. I've just been to the War Museum here, and this town was annihilated, as was most of the coast of Norway, sadly, during the war.
All right, Phil, we'll leave it there. Happy sailing, and we'll catch you next Monday.
All right, guys. Happy weekend.